Time for lunch now. Let's get over to the kitchen and say hello on this Friday to ABC's Culinary Director Judi Gallagher. What's for lunch today, Judi?
Well, Scott, I'm thinking with the cooler nights coming in, it's time to open up a bottle of Chianti and make something simple. I can turn the oven on, it's not going to be as hot, and sit outside by the pool. So we are making a traditional spaghetti nonna in the cast iron pan. So we're bringing together some capers, some eggplant, organic grape tomatoes, some tomato paste, bring it all together with a little bit of cheese and basil. And the fun thing is we're gonna bake it in the oven. So get out those cast iron pans. I can even tell you how to season them and how to get out that rust when you need it. So come back, we'll start cooking with lots of tips along the way. It's baked spaghetti a la Nonna, but today it's baked spaghetti a la Scott. So I have one cast iron pan already in the oven. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start the water. I'm using bucatini, which is basically like a spaghetti, only it's hollow inside, so it really kind of absorbs the extra flavors in there, which I love. So you're gonna heat your pan, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with peeled, cubed eggplant, about one medium size. Should do it. And you know you have the right amount when it's just basically going to cover the bottom like that. I have about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So I'm going to layer the flavors a little bit and add some more olive oil, garlic salt, salt and pepper, and a little crushed red pepper. Now, if you haven't used your cast iron pan in a long time and somebody may have put water on it, the best way to re-season that is wipe it out really well with a paper towel and olive oil, and then you're going to add white vinegar. Yep, white vinegar that we use to clean so many things also can get the rust out. So you can just Google online about how many minutes depending on the size of the pan, but you'll let that go for a few hours and that's going to take it off. Then you have to totally re-season it. So you have to wipe it out with olive oil and put it in a 350 oven for 6 hours, bring it out, cool it down, and do it 1 or 2 more times, and you should be fine. So once the eggplant is starting to, I can notice on one side get a little brown, we can go ahead and add the equivalent of 2 pints of grape tomatoes, and then a whole lot of garlic, right? Because for me, Italian is bringing olive oil and garlic together, usually with pasta. So it's comfort food, and we're always tired on a Friday, right? We've had a long week, so to do this is perfect. Now, this is about the time that what I'm gonna do is stick it in the oven. I'm gonna get the tomatoes to blister, and I'm gonna just do a little more salt on them to really extract that flavor, okay? So we're gonna do that. In a little while, I'll give it a toss again, and then I'm gonna add about 2 more tablespoons of olive oil. Now, to show you the bucatini right here, so that's all cooked and that's ready to go. So the next thing we wanna do is take some fresh basil. Whenever you see a recipe that calls it chiffonade, all it means is you just take the leaf and you just kind of roll it, and then you cut it almost into julienne strips, because fresh basil is going to go in the base of this as well as on top with some cheese. So now that I have 2 to 3 eggs beaten, this particular pan 2 is going to be fine. Get 1 size over and you should probably use 3. What we do for this is we're going to take the tomato paste and beat it in about 2 tablespoons. And we're going to beat that into the eggs. When I come back, we're going to toss this into the pasta along with those roasted, blistering tomatoes and the eggplant that is really moistened up. And then we'll bring it all together with some cheese and get it going in the oven. I'll be back in just a few minutes for baked spaghetti pie.
Let's get back to the kitchen now. And I think I have a name for this dish, Judi. See if you like it.
Okay.
Baked spaghetti scottini.
Oh my gosh, that, boom, I love it. If you want to apply for a busing job there to assist John in the kitchen, go right ahead. This will be one of the dishes. So I've taken the eggplant, the garlic, and the blistered tomatoes out, cooled them down a little bit. The pasta is cooked. I drained it, but I did not rinse it because, again, we want to draw in all those flavors. So I have 2 beaten eggs, and then I added the tomato paste to that. There we go, and we'll get in some of that fresh basil chiffonade that I said, and let's definitely get in some crushed red pepper. like anything, you got to be a little careful with the crushed red pepper, so not too much. And then we'll add some drained capers. Next, I have some grated Parmesan cheese, or Asiago would be great. So we'll put some in there, and then what you want to do is, using your tongs, get it all tossed in. So what you do is you cool the vegetables down, because you don't want the egg to cook in the pasta. And nobody knows that more than Scott Dennis now that we have an official name. Scattinis, I love it. Okay, so the eggplant, the garlic, and those tomatoes are all roasted together. You want to make sure that we're getting the egg and tomato mixture together. Now, I keep a jar of Michael's of Brooklyn sauce near me at all times, because you never know when you want it a little moister. The recipe, the recipe is just tomato paste and a little drizzle of Chianti wine, since you're opening it anyway, right? So we're going to take this, we're going to put it, I wiped the pan out, so completely wiped it out from the garlic and any remnants of the vegetables, and rubbed the pan again with olive oil. So now this is going to bake together with the eggs. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to try it. Now that we have Scott's name attached to it, we could get $3 more an entree. Okay, here we go. That's going to go in the oven about 35 minutes. If you use the back of your French knife, you can usually see if it's browning to crisp, because when it comes out, that's when you want to show it all brown and bubbly. You can put a little more Parmesan cheese on top, and then a little bit more if you want a little sauce, or you can just do some fresh basil on it. And that is a dish. How much fun is this? You can just stick the pan on a trivet and go enjoy a plate of just deliciousness. I'll be back in just a few minutes and we'll have a taste. And here we have it, pasta alla nonna Scattini, I think Scott said. I got to make sure I get the name right. So we have this baked spaghetti pie in the cast iron pan, sauteed organic grape tomatoes, capers, basil, good quality olive oil, splash of Chianti, and it's all baked in. We have those eggs that went in with the tomato paste. If you need to serve a little side sauce, you can, but it's going to be so delicious. And what I thought I'd do is just take this fork and lift it right up, because I want it to cool down for about 10 more minutes till I cut it. But see how the bottom is all nice and brown? That's exactly how you want it. Now, if you want this recipe and so much more, just log on to mysuncoast.com, click on the recipes in the video. We'll be right there. And it's always a great place to look for ideas to go out and dine. So while I get Scott's official dinner ready, I'll send it back to you.